door slams shut, and the UFC Apex in Las Vegas hums with raw energy. It's September 9th, 2025, and the main event of Dana White's Contender Series, Week 5, is about to ignite. Two heavyweights stand across from each other, their eyes locked, their futures hanging in the balance. Steven Asplund, a man who once tipped the scales at over 500 pounds, now a chiseled 266, carries the weight of a lifetime's transformation. His opponent, Anthony Guarascio, the CFFC heavyweight champion, exudes confidence, his swagger backed by a 3-0 record. 16 seconds later, one man will be on the canvas, and the other will be begging Dana White for a UFC contract with words that will echo through the MMA world. Steven Asplund's journey to this moment is nothing short of cinematic. Once a man trapped in a body over 500 pounds, he shed over 300 pounds through sheer will and relentless training. His transformation isn't just physical, it's a testament to a mind forged in adversity. Asplund, now 27, carries a 5-1 record into the cage, his only loss a distant memory from his early days. His father, Kevin Asplund, was a regional MMA fighter who racked up 15 straight wins, but never got the call to the UFC. That legacy drives Steven, a fire in his veins to finish what his father started. Training out of Team Alpha Male in Sacramento, Asplund has honed a brutal style, heavy hands, relentless pressure, and a knack for finishing fights. His last 3 wins, 2 knockouts, and a submission, prove he's no one-trick pony. At 6'4" with a 78-inch reach, he's a towering figure, his nickname, Concrete, earned through the unyielding force of his punches. Anthony Guarascio steps into the octagon as the CFFC heavyweight champion, a title he claimed with a first-round TKO over Zach Paga in March 2025. At 30, he's undefeated at 3-0, each win a statement of his power and precision. Training out of Longo and Weidman MMA in New York, Guarascio blends crisp boxing with a wrestler's grit, his 76-inch reach giving him the tools to control range. His pre-fight trash talk has been relentless, calling Asplund trailer trash and promising to expose him. The bad blood is real, and Guarascio's confidence is palpable. He's here to cement his name, to prove he's the next big thing in a division desperate for fresh blood. The Apex crowd, a mix of hardcore fans and UFC brass, senses the tension. Dana White sits cage side, his pen ready to sign contracts, his eyes sharp for the next star. The heavyweight division is a land of giants, where one punch can rewrite a career. At 266 pounds, it's a division ruled by names like John Jones, Tom Aspinall, and Shamil Gaziev. But injuries and age have thinned the ranks, and the UFC is hungry for new talent. A contract tonight could fast-track Asplund or Guarascio into a matchup with someone like Don'Tale Mayes or Waldo Cortez Acosta. The stakes are sky-high. For Asplund, it's about proving his transformation wasn't a fluke, that he's more than a feel-good story. For Guarascio, it's about silencing doubters and staking his claim as a future contender. The crowd roars as the referee steps to the center, the air thick with anticipation. The fight begins. Asplund charges forward, his massive frame moving with surprising speed. Guarascio meets him head-on, unafraid, throwing a jab to keep distance. The exchange is instant chaos. Fists fly, the sound of leather on flesh cracking through the apex. Asplund lands a glancing right, but it's the shovel hook that changes everything. It catches Guarascio clean, a sledgehammer to the jaw. Guarascio's legs wobble, his eyes glaze, and he crumples to the canvas. The crowd erupts, a wave of sound crashing over the octagon. Asplund doesn't hesitate. He dives in, his elbows and fists raining down in a storm of ground and pound. The referee has no choice. 16 seconds in, the fight is over. Asplund rises, his chest heaving, his face a mix of exhaustion and triumph. The Apex is on its feet, the noise deafening. It's the 3rd fastest knockout in Contender Series history, a record etched in violence. If you're feeling the rush of this moment, hit that subscribe button to stay locked into the raw, unfiltered drama of the cage. MMA Arena brings you every heartbeat of the fight game. The aftermath is electric. Guarascio stirs on the mat, his team rushing to his side as he shakes off the cobwebs. Asplund paces the cage, soaking in the moment, his eyes scanning the crowd. Then comes the mic. Dana White hands it over. and Asplund lets loose. He calls out Guarascio's trash talk, his voice dripping with defiance. He talks about his father's legacy, the 15 wins that never got the UFC's attention. He speaks of his own journey, from 500 pounds to this moment, a heavyweight who's rewritten his story. Then, with a grin that lights up the Apex, he drops a line for the ages. He looks at Dana White and says he'll do anything for a contract, even suck his toes. The crowd roars with laughter, Dana's face breaking into a rare smile. Whether he heard the bizarre offer or not, White steps forward moments later, his decision clear. Steven Asplund is a UFC fighter. Social media explodes. Fans call it a knockout for the history books, the kind of finish that gets replayed on highlight reels for years. One viewer says Asplund's story, from obesity to octagon glory, is straight out of a movie. Another praises his charisma, calling him a future star who will sell pay-per-views. A former fighter chimes in, marveling at the shovel hook's precision, comparing it to a young Mark Hunt. The MMA world is buzzing. Clips of the 16-second massacre racking up views. Asplund's toe-sucking quip trends online, fans memeing it into oblivion. But beneath the humor is respect. A man who turned his life around and delivered one of the most violent knockouts the Contender series has ever seen. Let's break down the fight. Asplund's game plan was chaos incarnate. Close the distance, swing for the fences. His shovel hook, a short, upward strike, exploited Guarascio's high guard, sneaking through a gap most heavyweights never see. The follow-up ground and pound was academic, a formality to seal the deal. Asplund's power is terrifying, his 78-inch reach letting him land from angles that defy logic. Guarascio, for all his bravado, made a critical error. He stood and traded. His boxing is sharp, but against a man like Asplund, who carries dynamite in both hands, it was a gamble that cost him everything. The cage offered no escape, and Asplund's pressure was suffocating. 16 seconds was all it took to expose the gap between champion and contender. The heavyweight division shifts with this performance. Asplund isn't just a prospect, he's a problem. The UFC's big men need fresh blood, and Asplund's mix of power, personality, and backstory makes him a marketer's dream. A debut against someone like Jake Collier or Andrei Arlovsky could test his skills while building his name. His size and athleticism suggest he could climb the ranks quickly, maybe even challenge the top 10 within a year. For Guarascio, the loss is a gut punch, but at 3-1, he's far from done. The CFFC champion will return to the regional scene, his confidence bruised, but his potential intact. The Contender series is a crucible, and only the toughest survive. The night at the Apex was historic. 5 contracts were awarded, including one to a losing fighter in a women's bout Dana White called one of the best he's ever seen. Larian Douglas's 36-second knockout earlier in the card tied for the 8th fastest in Contender series history. But Asplund's 16 seconds? That's the moment that stole the show. It's the kind of finish that defines a career, that sends a message to the division. Steven Asplund is here, and he's bringing destruction. His story, from a man who couldn't walk a mile to a heavyweight who ended a fight in 16 seconds, is one of redemption, of grit, of a dream made real. As the crowd files out and the lights dim, Asplund's voice lingers, that wild, toe-sucking promise a reminder of a fighter who's all heart.